Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the All About Residence Life webinar. We are so glad that you are here and that you can learn a little bit more about what to expect at St. Jerome's when you move in very soon, August 31st. My name is Rebecca. I'm the manager of residence and community life, and I'm joined by my colleague Zeke, who is the residence community life coordinator. We also work with the lovely Tina, who actually lives in residence, so you'll be seeing lots of her. We work closely with a whole team of people who support you in making your residence experience at St. Jerome's one to remember. And some of those folks are listed here. If the slide would move forward. But they are student affairs folks, including academic advisors, service and learning folks, and beyond, as well as student leaders, folks like peer academic leaders, student activities team, and our lovely Dawn team who there's one on each of the floors, which we'll talk more about. I'm going to pass it over to Zeke to share a little bit about the support and care model of our residents.
Yeah, awesome. So as a U Waterloo student, you have all the resources of U Waterloo. But in addition to that, because you're living at St. Jerome's, you'll receive even more resources and support on top of that you receive at the University of Waterloo. So the unique support and care that you'll get at SJU include from our facilities team who provide maintenance, cleaning repairs, and lead our environmental sustainability initiatives in residence. From our kitchen staff who provide meals focused on food sustainability, local ingredients, freshness, and quality. From our student affairs department, which encompasses teams dedicated to wellness, service learning, residence, academic advising, and campus ministry. Another avenue for support and care comes from our WellLink lab. They provide resources and conduct research on mental health and well-being of emerging adults. And lastly, our peer academic leaders. Our PALs provide peer success coaching and student success and engagement programming.
We know you have probably a lot of questions about what it looks like to live at St. Jerome's. We are going to open up questions at the end because we want your full attention all throughout this presentation. But to kind of start at the beginning of your university experience, what does move-in look like, for example? So you will receive an email with more details about move-in come August. But if you're curious now, essentially on move-in day, you're gonna be assigned a time slot based on your last name that will be sent to you by email, and you're gonna drive all your stuff in and be assigned a specific area of a building to unload your things. We are very strategic about where we send you to unload your things because it'll be the closest to your residence room, so you have to walk the least amount of time. On move-in day, it's important that you know that there are 3 important things that happen. One is you have a mandatory floor meeting at 4 o'clock that day. So for those of you who are in the afternoon time slot of move-in, you will be a little rushed. It'll be a little busy, but we want you to have said goodbye to your parents by 4 o'clock so you can be fully embedded into your residence community, which will involve getting to know your Dawn, getting to know the other people on your floor, getting to know how to live in residence, including some of the rules, responsibilities, so on and so forth. Right after your floor meeting, we come down to an all-community town hall. We call it the Residence Roundup. And that's where Zeke and I will be there, and we'll talk nitty-gritty about some things to help make your experience at St. Jerome's a really smooth one. After that, we have a welcome barbecue, and the festivities of orientation week begin. So move-in day, it's intense, it's fun, it's something to really look forward to. Hopefully it's not too hot, and we'll have a great day. Not sure why our slides aren't moving here. Oh, there we go. If you'd like to take a screenshot of this, you can, but I'm also going to try and make the next slide go.
There we go. Some of you might be wondering if you can move in early. Yes, we do accept early move-ins, but only for extenuating circumstances. The earliest a student can move in is Wednesday, August 28th. We can't accommodate before that date, and you'll just need to find another accommodation. If you would like to move in early, you must just complete the early move-in request form on eResLife by Sunday, August 11th. You will receive an email afterwards confirming or denying your request. We only have limited early move-in capacity since we do have lots of our student leaders here being trained and undergoing some training, and we also do have some resident or conference guests still in residence. So just make sure you complete the early move-in request form on eResLife.
In order to qualify for an early move-in, you would have to be at least kind of a 500-kilometer outside of the Waterloo region. That would indicate to us that you need extra time to travel. Or you could be an international student, have some sort of commitment on campus that you have to be early for. Those are the kinds of things. If you're ever in doubt, though, fill out the form. Can't hurt. We'll let you know whether you can move in early or not. All right. Can you move in late? Can you come past the 31st? You can, you'll miss some things. So you won't be able to attend that first community meeting. You wouldn't be at the barbecue. You'd miss some icebreakers. So as much as you can prioritize a move-in on move-in day, August 31st, please do so. But if you're not able to, for the various reasons in life that would necessitate moving in a day or two or three later, please let us know that you're going to be moving in later. We're expecting you on the 31st. And if you don't come on the 31st, we're going to get a little worried. And so you have the opportunity to let us know that you're not going to be there on the 31st and tell us when you're coming. Then we'll be prepared for you. We'll know that your spot is still your spot. If you're over 3 days late, you haven't let us know, we'll consider filling that bed with someone else, which we obviously wouldn't want to do. So we'll try and get in contact with you, make sure we know that you're coming before we do that. But please let us know if you're moving in late. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I need to go back.
As you get that back, Rebecca, in terms of items that to pack, we do have a list on our website, so please scan the QR code. There are a few items that you should bring, which include twin XL, single-sized sheets, blankets, and a pillow, clothes, hangers, towels, as well as school supplies, any of your toiletries and laundry detergent, as well as a clothes hamper. We also recommend that you bring some cleaning supplies. So you are responsible for cleaning your individual residence room. So we recommend a duster, all-purpose cleaner, glass cleaner, and some small garbage bags for the bin that we provide. We also recommend you bringing some flip-flops for the shower if you prefer, as well as a door stopper. That helps keep the door open so you can build community and chat with your floor mates as they're walking by. Items that you could bring but aren't mandatory is an inexpensive bicycle. We say inexpensive. We do have indoor storage. However, theft may occur on campus. A kettle, sports equipment, lamp, plants, musical instruments, and snacks for any of your late night studying. There are some items not to bring to residence as you're moving in. Pets is one of the first ones, unless approved by Student Affairs. That means if you have an emotional or a service animal, that gets approved through accessible housing. Any cooking supply or cooking appliances aren't allowed. So that includes hot plates, toasters, rice cookers, microwaves, crock pots, etc. You have a meal plan, so all your meals are provided in our cafeteria. We also have the buttery, which you will have access in the evening, 5 days a week, to a stove as well as a microwaves throughout our residence spaces. Please don't bring a mini fridge. We already are providing you one in residence. Don't bring any candles, halogen lamps, heaters, or heat lamps for fire safety reasons, or 3D printers. No need to bring your own furniture. We provide it all. However, you can bring your own office chair if you would like. And please don't bring any adhesive or hooks for the walls. We do provide a whole bunch of little sticky squares for you to hang your posters and pictures on our walls. This is just to limit any damage to the walls that you may have to pay upon moving out. When it comes to fees, for fall 2024, the cost to live in residence for a double room is $8,786. If you are assigned a single room, there will be an additional $600 fee. It does decrease a little bit for the winter term and spring terms of 2025. The cost to live in residence per term for a double room will be $5,911. And again, if you're placed in a single room, there'll be an additional $600 fee. The fees include your all-you-care-to-eat meal plan as well as our laundry facilities. So there's no additional charges for those services. And then to pay your fees, you should see that your residence fees are posted on your Quest account. And you pay your residence fees at the same time that you're paying your tuition. You pay it all together. And the fees are due August 20th.
It always feels good to get fees arranged. We often get questions about this from students, so we thought we'd address it here. A majority of you, or actually this email was sent to the fall cohort of students. So you have a 2-term contract. Every fall residence offer is a 2-term contract. So in your emails, in the contract itself, it stated that it was a 2-term contract. That means that you are either fall winter or fall spring, depending on your streaming, which is connected to your academics. If you are confused about what streaming you're in, that's a great question to ask your academic advisor. A majority of first-year students are H-stream, which means that they are here for fall and for winter, and they start their co-op sequence in their second year. For those of you who are maybe in engineering, you might be 4-stream, which would mean that you might be in residence for the fall, gone for the winter, and back for the spring. When you have a 2-term residence contract, it means that you are obligated essentially to live at St. Jerome's for both of those terms. If you chose or something comes up and you have to leave your residence contract, there would be a form for you to fill out online. There could be financial penalties depending on the situation, but certainly if it's a matter of wanting to live somewhere else because, I don't know, you made some friends who have a house, that's not the kind of situation you can break a contract for. So things to be mindful of as you come into residence. Something else that students sometimes get confused about is when they can, how it looks like in between terms. So between fall and winter, your residence room typically, almost always, stays the same. Your fall and winter residence room usually would be the same. You can leave all your stuff there over the Christmas break when our residence closes. When our residence closes, all students are asked to leave the residence. If you're able to go home, that's great. If you're having to stay with friends or in other accommodations, that's possible too, and we always give some recommendations. But our residence completely closes, but students who are there for fall, winter can leave their stuff there. If you have a fall, spring contract, you would have to remove all of your things from residence, and you may not be allocated the same room when you come back. So things to be mindful of. There was lots of detail there. Well, Zeke, do you want to jump in with the meal plan?
For sure. So in our cafeteria, you get a all-you-care-to-eat meal plan included in your residence fees. If you do have back-to-back classes or extracurricular commitments that inhibit you to making it back to campus for your meal, you're able to request a packed and bagged lunch. So you can pick that up in the morning, the day of, to bring to your classes. Or your extracurriculars, you would just have to submit that form 24 hours in advance. If you're going to be late for dinner and not going to be around, you can request a late dinner form. And again, you just request that 24 hours ahead of time, and then it will be ready for you when you get back to campus. The cafeteria also really appreciates hearing student feedback, and there's also multiple methods to do that. They'll be all advertised on your floor. There will be some social media as well as some in-person time that you can connect with them. And they like to hear from your feedback about how the meal service is going. They like to hear the good and the bad. They're always trying to improve, and they're always just trying to make your experience at St. Jerome's a great one with the food. And you're just muted, Rebecca.
Some folks may have questions about dietary restrictions in the CAF and how they are accommodated for. If that's you and I haven't already reached out, let me know. But I did send an email to most folks who had dietary restrictions. Essentially, what we really suggest is that if you have a dietary restriction, you make yourself known to the kitchen staff. So you come up, you say, "Hi, my name is Rebecca. I am allergic to sesame seeds." And the kitchen staff will get to know you over time, and they'll also they'll be able to help you navigate what you can and can't eat in the kitchen. Typical things like vegan, gluten-free, halal, those will be labeled vegetarian and quite obvious. But when you have more niche dietary restrictions, you may need to voice that as you go through the CAF and as you're navigating the meal service there. Our kitchen staff are lovely people, and they are interested in hearing, like Zeke said, your feedback on things and how things are going. So please do, connect with them, share with them what kind of food you're enjoying, not enjoying, what your allergies are, get to know them. These are good people to befriend. But for the most part, our kitchen staff, they do a great job of accommodating allergies. And if you do ever find it to be a struggle, talk to them, come talk to us in Residence Life. And if you have allergies that you're thinking like, you know what, my allergies are quite niche, quite extreme, send me an email if you're concerned. We would love to get ahead of that and plan with you.
Now, a big question that many of you likely have is, will you have a single or a double room, and when will you find out? So you'll learn about your room assignment in mid-August when our room allocation process is completed. You'll receive an email from us informing you to log into eRes Life to view your assignment. We do receive a lot of single room requests, and unfortunately, we cannot accommodate everyone. So we do encourage you to have the expectation of receiving a double room. And we hear time and time again that roommates offer a great outlet when stressed, more opportunities to connect with resources and other people, and build skills in communication and conflict resolution. And we would like to emphasize that it takes effort, time, and intentionality to have a roommate and to support, and with support from staff and DONs, the hard work needs to come from you to learn how to collaborate together.
What I always like sharing with students is that the experience of having a roommate, that skill building that you do, are the type of skills that your co-op employers, if you're in a co-op program, are looking for. Those are the stories that you pull out when they ask you about your communication skills, how you navigated conflict. And so truly having a roommate can be A, really, really fun and exciting thing, and B, can be a great way for you to develop as a person. If you and your roommate are having challenges, though, which can occur, we're human, we all have good days, bad days, we're different people from different places. There is a bit of a process that we go through to help you connect, collaborate, all those good things. So to start, when you move in, you'll actually be given what's called the roommate agreement that the two of you will go over together to talk about your sleeping habits, your cleaning preferences, those good to know things to live well together. And so we encourage you to fill that out as soon as possible when you get to St. Jerome's, so that if or when something comes up, you can go back to that document and reference it. That document might not be all comprehensive. There'll be things that kind of come up that you may need to talk about. That's to be expected. But at least by doing that document together, you create a norm that the two of you do talk about things. If that's not working, if pulling out that document and connecting face-to-face isn't working, that's when we'd invite you to go to your residence floor Dawn. The residence Dawn is trained to help students navigate tough conversations with each other, and they may invite you to a conversation with the three of you to help work out an issue and brainstorm with you how you're going to continue to live together. If that's still not working, then you might go and visit Zeke. At some point, and then if that still didn't help the situation, come and see me. It's very rare that we would change roommates or break a roommate pair up, except in severe cases when we have tried all other methods of restoration. So again, this is not to scare you. It's actually a really good thing in building those skills. And it's a process that really does work quite well, typically.
So in terms of how you roommate pairings get selected, our computer algorithm will review each student's housing application form to find the best possible roommate pairings based on the information that you disclosed, such as your sleeping habits, studying habit, tidiness, etc. Afterwards, staff mainly review the roommate pairings to ensure it meets our standards. So we put a lot of attention, a lot of care and time into this process. And that's why you don't learn about whether you get a single or a double room until mid-August. And I should note that this process is still currently happening. And we expect it to be completed by mid-August, and that's when you'll get an email from us.
So when you learn your room allocation in mid-August, whether you got a single, whether you had a double, you may get curious if you had a double of who is my roommate, and that will be your next question. So it's actually new this year that we're letting students know their room type before move-in. Typically, we would always have you find out your room type and your roommate on move-in day. This year, we're letting you know your room type early, but we are standing our ground on letting you know who your roommate is. And this is for a really good reason. We actually really believe that a good first impression and comes out of face-to-face communication and connection, not perceptions based off of social media and quick little texts and chats. As much as this may create some temporary inconvenience for you, we believe that this is one of the best methods of pairing roommates and introducing them to each other. So come in with excitement to meet your roommate. Know that we've really paid close attention to the application that you filled out with information about yourself. Come excited to meet a new person, to hear about their interests and skills, to get to know them, to learn from them. And you'll meet them on move-in day, and it's going to be great. Great. What is an accessible housing requirement? So some folks have already gone through this process. Actually, a majority. The deadline has already passed. So the folks who have gone through accessible housing already, their rooms match their accessible housing recommendation. Now, what accessible housing is it's a service on main campus that will collect documentation from you, documentation including potentially something from your family doctor, medical history sort of things, regarding what you need to succeed at university. There are two different resources like this on campus, actually. There's accessible housing and there is an accessible, what's it called, Zeke? One for academics.
Accessibility services.
Accessibility services, thank you. And so accessible housing and accessibility services are different. You may have gone through accessibility services to, for example, get additional time on your tests or things like that. Accessible housing is specific to what you need to live in residence and succeed in residence. Very different than your academics. So the deadline to go through accessible housing has technically passed. However, if you feel like there is something in residence that you need in order to be successful because of a disability, please do go through accessible housing. This could be things like diagnoses of OCD, anxiety, depression. It can be, physical challenges and impairments. So please do use that form if you need it. You can email us to let us know that you're going through it. This will help us allocate spaces that are appropriate for the needs of students, such as barrier-free rooms, single rooms, rooms closer to elevators, so on and so forth. So please do let us know.
So bringing a vehicle, bike, and large sports equipment. Unfortunately, all our parking spaces for the fall 2024 term are currently full. However, applications will open again around October to apply for the winter 2025 parking. If you are looking to bring a bike, we still have spaces available. You just need to complete the bike storage waiver in request form on eResLife prior to move-in. This is a first come, first serve basis, and the cost is $50 per term. We also offer large sports equipment storage in our residence free of charge. You just need to complete the large sports equipment waiver in request form on eResLife as well.
Those are good things to be doing before you arrive to St. Jerome's, because then you'll have access to those spaces via your fob the minute that you get here. If you get here and decide, oh, actually, I forgot to fill out the form, I need this and this and this, you are going to have to wait to get actual access to that space. And it may take a little while and you won't have access to your bike, for example, or your hockey equipment. So best to do those forms early. Folks do often have questions about the rooms and sometimes really specific questions about dimensions. We don't actually have that information available. How the rooms are laid out, though, is that you have two dressers underneath your bed. You have your bed. You have, if you're in Ryan and Siegfried, you have a sink with a mirror. You have a wardrobe that's split in two very distinct sides that you and your roommate, if you have a roommate, have. There's not a ton of space to play with. And so we encourage you to pack wisely. It always is. It's probably, I mean, it is actually prudent to come in, assess what you might need in the space, go out and get it, rather than trying to bring every single thing that you feel like you might need, and then realize you don't use half of it and you're lugging a bunch of stuff up a bunch of steps and lugging it back down again. So that is our encouragement to you. Again, like Zeke said, don't bring a fridge. And don't bring any of those appliances that he'd mentioned. Don't bring those adhesive lights that go up around the room. When those come down, they take off a lot of the wall and you will get a damage fine. So don't bring those. And there isn't a lot of space to bring like additional furniture, like a couch or a beanbag chair or any of that stuff. So again, encouraged to come into the space, see what might make it homey for you. Bring things like posters and twinkle lights and plants and stuff like that. But you'll have tons of storage already. And you'll have your desk, your bed, all of that stuff. Mattress topper, not a bad idea. But these are the rooms. You can also scan those QR codes to see videos of the rooms as well.
So on every floor, there is a Residence Life Dawn. Our Residence Life Dawns are upper year students who are dedicated, who are there to support and guide you and mentor you through your first year experience at St. Jerome's. They're a great resource. They will be your supporters and go-to people. They're great at community building, peer counseling. They are all safe talk suicide alertness trained. They have lots of training in leadership, as well as first aid and CPR certified, as well as training in conflict management. So as it was discussed earlier, if you do have a roommate or you are going through a challenge with a friend, Dawns are a great support person that you can go to. They can provide you tips as well as resources to navigate your challenge. As we approach move-in day, you might be feeling a little bit nervous, excited to move into residence. SJU residence specifically is a vibrant community where you'll learn and grow holistically as an individual. That means growing academically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and socially. The hope is when you leave residence, you're leaving a more whole person. To ensure that we are fostering an environment of growth and belonging, we do have some policies that every student is held accountable to. All the policies in residence are outlined in the Residence Policies Handbook. This handbook also includes the possible sanctions for violating policies, as well as how Student Affairs reviews conduct. So our conduct process is rooted in our goal to develop the whole person by encouraging students to take ownership and accountability for their behavior while taking a restorative approach. I would also encourage you to become familiar with our policies prior to residence. You can find the Residence Policies Handbook on our website. It also includes the list of items that are prohibited to bring to residence. So that will be helpful for when you're starting to pack all your belongings for move-in day.
Oh, it's gone now. I don't know where the presentation went. I think I accidentally maybe hit 2 slides and now it's gone. But we are really excited for you to join us in residence. There'll be a number of opportunities for you to get involved when you get here. One of which would be residence council, so you can become the representative on your floor who works closely with DONs, listening to student feedback, improving the student experience, maybe planning an event for their floor cohort, connecting with students. That is a great opportunity for a first-year student to jump right in and get involved. There's also a green team, which focuses specifically on environmental initiatives, so education regarding sustainability, as well as what is happening at St. Jerome's and how can we make St. Jerome's a greener place. And then there's also the community dinner planning team, because each term we have 4 community dinners that students get pretty excited about. And so you could even be part of planning those community dinners, which is a cool opportunity. And then the student activities team, this big group of student leaders, are always planning and thinking about new events for you to do. And so you'll see posters and Instagram posts and things around campus to invite you to these events. Like, for example, tonight there are therapy dogs in the building, but they also do things like paint nights or haunted houses, sometimes do some like off-campus stuff. And of course, opportunities to get involved in our campus ministry program as well at St. Jerome's, if that's something that you're interested in. So come excited to get to know a roommate potentially, to get involved in residence opportunities, to learn a lot, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom through your residence experience at St. Jerome's. All right. That really kind of wraps up our presentation. I have a few important deadlines to remind you of. So here they are. August 11th is the deadline for you to let us know that you're moving in early. August 20th is the deadline for you to pay your fees, and that's not just the St. Jerome's residence fees, that's your fees for tuition and everything else as well. So don't forget to do that. August 30th is your deadline to let us know that you're moving in late. We're expecting you. If you're over 3 days late, we'll start to get concerned and consider filling your space. A reminder. August 31st is move-in day. That's the rah-rah, super fun, amazing day. And from the 31st until September 8th is fall orientation, where there are going to be all sorts of things programmed for you to help you get to know each other, to help you get to know St. Jerome's, orient yourself to the space and place. So get really excited about that. On September 4th, classes begin. And just so you know, your classes will never conflict with orientation week programming. And also you'll have main campus orientation week programming and St. Jerome's programming. Those don't conflict either. If anything, there might be something optional and like really chill happening at St. Jerome's if you're kind of tired of what's happening over on main campus, but they're not intended to conflict. So you won't have to choose one or the other. We want you over on campus doing the fun orientation things and back at St. Jerome's in the evenings, maybe movie nights, paint nights, all those fun things. Anything I missed, Zeke?
No, I
I
think
guess
we've got it.
those dates extend right into fall move out and residence closing. So those are some dates you can pay attention to as well. And then winter term move in and then classes, and it goes on and on from there. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you have questions, please do reach out to SJU Res ID at uwaterloo.ca. Hopefully this did help answer some of the most commonly asked questions that we receive, but you might have some really niche ones that you're curious about. So yeah, you can email us. We're excited to meet you. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone, and see you on move-in day.
Yes.